Hello and welcome to the 12th season of Ladue Schools Today, the district communication program for the Ladue School District in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm your host, Don Goebel. Now, at this year's opening session, the orientation for the entire district staff, Communications Director Susan Downing and Ladue Education Foundation President Julie Schuster announced that the LEF will be integrating the Ladue Schools Alumni Association into its organization. Now, for those of our viewers who are unfamiliar with the Ladue Education Foundation, it's a non-for-profit philanthropic organization managed by Ladue Schools community volunteers that support the Ladue School District by expanding opportunities for student success. Now, since its inception in 2006, the LEF has funded more than 115 grants, totaling more than $450,000, which were given to educators to enhance student achievement, and nearly $2 million to support the high school renovation. Today, the LEF's Executive Director, Kristen Wild, is here to talk to us about why the foundation has partnered with the district to integrate the Alumni Association into its organization and what we can expect from this change. And Kristen, welcome to our studio.
Thank you, Don.
How are you today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's good to have you here, I believe,
thanks.
for the first time, or it's been a while,
It's
possibly.
been probably 3 years.
It's been quite a while. So we're excited to talk to you as the Executive Director of the Ladue Education Foundation about integrating our Alumni Association and really why the LEF is the perfect house to bring in our alumni. Let's start there. Can you talk to us about that?
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, the Ladue Education Foundation has been around for 11 years now, and we have worked really closely with the district. There's a wonderful partnership there, and we're excited about this next step for our organization. It really makes sense for the LEF to incorporate the Alumni Association. We've got a great infrastructure in place. We have a board of directors. We have multiple committees. Several alumni already serve on our board and on our committees. So we've already have a great alumni presence, and we have committees set up that will really lend themselves well to alumni involvement. We have a business and community partnership committee. We have a committee that makes determinations about what grants should be funded for educators. We have an event committee, all of which I think will really benefit from having a great alumni presence. We're an event-focused entity, and a lot of times alumni, have their own events in the form of reunions. But some of the events that we already have been hosting have alumni elements to them. Our annual breakfast every fall, we typically honor a retired educator, which brings alumni from across the country. We have our annual spring event. We have included alumni and highlighted some that have been very successful in their fields. In 2015, we focused on alumni artists. In 2016, on alumni musicians, and our 2017 innovation-themed celebration, we had a keynote speaker that was very innovative and successful in his career. So I think that's a natural fit for our alumni. We also have a lot of communication vehicles set up that I think will lend themselves well to the Alumni Association. We work in close connection with the district's communications department, and then we have our we utilize social media. We have a monthly newsletter, so it's a great opportunity to be able to engage alumni, inform them about what's going on in the district, but then also to highlight some of those alumni who've done some amazing things and have great stories to tell. So. And the district has worked very hard in the last couple of years to set up systems and develop this framework for a great close working relationship between the foundation and the Alumni Association and the district.
So that's a great place to segue, because with those three entities, the LEF, the Alumni Association, and the Ladue School District Communications Department, I had a chance to speak with the alumni liaison, Bailey Otto, to learn more about how the district is incorporating all of this together. Welcome to the show for the first time, Bailey. It's really great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk to you all about the integration of the Alumni Association into the Ladue Education Foundation.
Okay, so tell me about all the behind the scenes work that had to make this integration successful.
This process actually began 2 years ago in 2015 when the Ladue Schools District decided to begin a revitalization plan for their Ladue Alumni Association. We wanted to instill a sense of pride and belonging in our past graduates from attending a school district that's such a premier school district in Missouri. And the ways that we decided to go about doing this was to create a plan where we built a robust database with all of our alumni's contact information. And then offer an official alumni website where all of the alums can come back and update all of their information themselves, and then also reconnect with their former classmates. And then once we got that ball rolling, we started to engage with those alumni, which now numbers more than 20,000.
The goals of this revitalization plan seem like a really big undertaking. So tell us a little bit about what some of those issues were that you confronted and how your department tackled them.
Well, first we had to find our alumni. Like I said, we didn't know where many were, so what we started with is we went into the database, we found how many addresses and emails were actually good addresses and emails, and from there we used various resources to go out and find our alums. These included using the U.S. Postal Service, the NCOA reports there. We also utilized social media to go out to all of the various classes' Facebook pages, Facebook groups, and their websites as well. And posting and saying, look, we're trying to revitalize the Alumni Association. We're hoping to gather all of this contact information. Can you help us? And we had all of these reunion committees really step up and say, hey, we've got this information, because they're continually, starting events and keeping up with each other. So they really stepped in to help us with that portion. And after finding a good portion of our alumni, I would say about 3/4, we have addresses for currently, we decided to start the engagement process. And as I mentioned, we launched an official website where every single person who has graduated from Ladue schools already has an account. So basically, we just link each person with their account, and they can sign in, they can see all of the reunion committee work, they can see their class Facebook pages and posts, they can see alumni news about graduates across the spectrum, not just for their class. And then what's really important with the website is that each person can update their own contact information. So if they move or if they update their emails, it's not a matter of losing them and having to re-find them. It's just a matter of them remembering to go in and update their own information. So that was sort of how we put all of our plans to action.
All of this groundwork seems to set a pretty strong foundation for the LEF and the Alumni Association to build upon. So Kristen, what is the driving mission of the foundation in terms of the alumni, and how is the LEF prepared to handle the purpose?
Sure. So our goal really is to bring alumni back to the Ladue Schools community and create sort of a broader sense of community. Currently, there are alumni classes that get together for reunions, but those are primarily on a single graduation class basis. We want alumni to really be part of a community of all graduates of this great district that we have. So that's a primary goal. We'd love to engage alumni in current students' activities, whether it's attending sporting events or judging in the speech and debate tournament held at Ladue if they are a former speech and debate student, being involved in musical events, plays. The current students, I think, will really benefit from having the alumni involvement, and I think the alumni, it'll be a gratifying experience for them as well.
For sure, and I know, and Bailey mentioned it too in her part, and you mentioned it earlier, just the outreach of trying to curate and secure alumni, but then social media playing a part in that. How's that gone so far?
Right.
Have we seen some positive results from the social media use? Because really that's where probably a lot of our alumni we're going to have some success with.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure, yes. A lot of alumni have websites set up for their specific class to
Right.
organize reunions, but through the new Alumni Association website that has been created by the district's communication department by Bailey, that's a great way for alumni to learn about what else is going on, in other classes. And a lot of people might know specifically
Right.
their grade, but they're curious. What about these people who were in high school at the same time I was, or younger alumni or older alumni?
Right.
And social media has been a great vehicle. Through the foundation's social media site, we're able, just this week, we published something about Mike Currender, who published a book recently, and a character in his book is based on the teacher that we are honoring at our breakfast. So it's a great
Wow.
tie-in, and so we're able to share with other alumni what's going on in their classmates' lives.
I think that's the power of social media and all the communications. There are just more ways and avenues to celebrate, to connect, and we're going to move on from that. This is a good point right now. I had an opportunity to sit down with Julie Labonte and talk specifically about the initiatives that graduates can expect from the LEF going forward. Now, Julie is a former president of the LEF and is now helping to lead the effort to integrate the Alumni Association.
So the Ladue Education Foundation is really excited about partnering with the Ladue School District to put together not only the events, social events, volunteering events, but also our communications, and looking at the Ladue newsletters, the Ladue School District newsletters, the LEF newsletters, as ways of bringing our alumni together, honoring alumni, honoring previous staff, and really highlighting the great work that our community is doing. So our actionable goals are really kicking off some initiatives around alumni engagement. One of the pieces that we're excited to kick off is Alumni Day of Caring. And it's an event that we look to bring all the alumni across all the years together to really give back to the community. A couple other ideas that we have are alumni ambassadors. So we have hotspots of alumni around the country, in Denver, Southern California, North Carolina, that we're looking at putting some networking groups together so we can have good engagement for our alumni, even if they're not here with us in St. Louis. We're also looking at starting a legacy alumni group, where we have a lot of parents that are alumni that have children in the district. And I call them the sea turtles. Many times they come back to Ladue to raise their offspring. And we're excited about bringing all of those alumni together because we think it's a really special way to network within the Ladue Schools community. So those are a couple of the key pieces that we're thinking about right now.
So there will be ongoing district support when it comes to alumni engagement. And in fact, Bailey Otto mentioned how the district will work with the LEF and the Alumni Association now going forward.
And of course, the district will continue to provide resources for the LEF, including website support and database management, continuing to help them build a community of alumni, and then also social media support, using Facebook and Twitter to go out and keep alumni up to date on everything that's going on within the district, and then also sharing the LEF and Alumni Association's posts and their updates from their social media pages as well.
So now one of the major goals of the Ladue Education Foundation is fundraising to support district efforts in encouraging student success. So Kristen, talk a little bit about how the fundraising component of the LEF comes into play now to engage our alumni.
Sure. So we have a lot of generous alumni who graduated from this high school, and a lot of them are very proud of their experience at Ladue. A lot of them are interested in giving back. They are interested in maintaining the excellence of the Ladue School District. So making a monetary donation is a great way to do that. And we have already, without formally having been a part of the Alumni Association or that merger,
right.
We've had alumni step up and raise funds as groups or individuals. We have a couple of reunion classes that have established goals to give a class gift. The class of 1966 this past year raised about $22,000.
Wow.
And we've had other classes do similar efforts. We recently we had 3 alumni step up to establish the Bill Heide Endowment Fund after a beloved teacher passed away. So they're very interested in enhancing our already amazing speech and debate program here at the high school,
Right.
As well as add a monetary component to an existing English award. We also have had a lot of alumni who've taken advantage of the naming opportunities at the high school, which is
Right.
being renovated. People have named areas after their families or after a favorite teacher.
And bricks.
And bricks, yes.
You can't forget the
No,
brick.
can't forget the bricks.
So they could buy a brick and
Yes. Commemorative bricks.
Yeah.
Alumni have been, having them ordering inscriptions with their graduation years, their siblings' graduation years, their favorite teacher, tributes to them. And we've had a group of former high school football captains go in on a brick together.
Nice.
And an alum who was on a state championship tennis team for all 4 years, so her inscription reflects that great success.
Yeah.
So there are fun ways for the alumni to get involved financially and really leave a legacy here through the bricks and through the naming opportunities, and
Right.
also to help the LEF in its mission to advance opportunities for student success and to deliver programming and curriculum that wouldn't otherwise happen. So
Right.
it's a great way for them to give back.
I see it very much even like a university, where we've got so many alumni spread out all over the world, but they could have their little, they could have their group in their state or their city
Right.
coming together. And there's easy
Right.
ways to donate too, right? I mean, if they go
Right.
to
Oh,
the
sure.
website, I mean, certainly there's no shortage of ways
Yes.
that alumni can give back. And what we're getting down to, though, we've talked a couple of times, though, is about student achievement and student success. And there's a lot of examples that we could point to.
Right.
And you host a lot of those on your website, don't you? If you
Yes.
talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So both as far as the student achievement that's
Yeah.
currently happening,
Right.
we have devoted areas on our website that highlight the grants where students have excelled in a certain program that has been funded by the LEF. We have a page now devoted to alumni on the LEF's website, and as I think we talked earlier, the
Right.
the new alumni website is
Right.
really a great place for alumni to find out what's going on and some of the achievements that have happened.
And I think that's really important for them to see the tangible things that have changed, even from a couple of years ago, seeing that even just the facilities change, but,
Right.
The excellence doesn't. And having those specific stories, I think, really is what will motivate everyone to get a little bit more involved and continue to build that community.
Right.
Is there anything else you would like to leave us with or add before we wrap up for today?
Well, I would just like to really, for any alumni who are watching this, encourage them to get involved, whether it's attending an event or volunteering to mentor a current student or attend existing sporting events and so forth, just to really whether they live in town or out of town, somehow reach out. Another way is to send us notes about what they're doing and maybe a teacher who had a major impact on their lives. So we're, whether they are near or far, we'd love to have alumni involvement.
I think there are so many great ways to connect, stay involved, get back involved, and so we are really excited about everything you all are doing. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming today.
Sure, thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And thank you for watching Ladue Schools Today. Make sure to check out our program at any time by going to lhstv.weebly.com and select the Ladue Schools Today tab. Until then, I'm Don Goebel. Have a great day.